Good morning, everybody. So this is 15-1, Module 15, Section 2, Explore Activity number 1, and we are creating a relative frequency table. So the last module was systems of equations. This one is two-way tables, percentages, and all that. Just, have fun and do the best that you can, and don't worry about your, just don't stress. Just do the best that you can, okay? So it says creating a relative frequency table. The frequency table below shows the results of a survey that Maria took at her school. She asked 50 randomly selected students whether they preferred dogs, cats, or other animals. Convert this table to a relative frequency table that uses decimals as well as one that uses percents. Okay, so we're going to be changing it to relative frequency. And relative frequency, it relates to the frequency of the, like the responses and stuff. So preferred pets on this one, the frequency, that's how many people like dogs. So 22 out of the 50 like dogs. And then 15 out of the 50 prefer cats. And then 13 out of the 15 said they liked something else. So the first part, it says, divide a number in the frequency table by the total to obtain the relative frequency. And we're going to do this as a decimal. Then you record right here. So I already posted the numbers. All you have to do is type it in. So the first one is already done for you. So this one had 22. Remember, the total was 50. So you put 22 out of the 50. Sorry, I started talking too fast. So you have dogs, 22 out of the 50. And when you divide on the calculator, 22 divided by 50, you get 44. My faster method is, well, it's out of 50. So if I want it as 100, I just multiply it by 2. So 22 times 2 is 44. And now instead of 50, it's hundreds. So the next one, cats. For cats, you got 15 out of 50. So right here, I'm going to double click in there to make sure that I have the number right there. And I'm going to put in 15. And then I press then I go to the bottom one, the denominator, sorry, not the bottom one. And so I put out of 50 because that's how many responded. Now, once again, to get the decimal, I want it as a hundreds. So 50, to get it into hundreds, that's 50 times 2. So 15 times 2 is 30. So that means 30 hundredths. The way I write 30 hundredths is 0 and 3 with the 0. 3 tens and then 30 hundredths. So like that. Other, they had 13. So right here, I'm going to put in 13 out of 50. Oh my goodness, what did I do? It went blank. So I can go back in here, undo, and it'll take me back to what I was typing, and I didn't see that it cleared it. Okay? So anyways, this one was 50. And then the same thing. Well, 50 to get hundreds, I multiply by 2, so 13 times 2 is 26 hundredths. The way you write 2600 is 0, decimal, and what did I say? 26. Now here, the total, it is a frequency table, so the total should be 50 out of, oops, that's what I did a little while ago. Okay, so I gotta do the denominator, 50. That's 1, 50 divided by 1, so if I want to write it as a decimal, then I can write it as 1 with the decimal and 2 zeros, 1, like that. Now, write the decimal as percents in the table. Well, this is, you say 44 hundredths, so as a percent, it would be 44%. 30 hundredths as a percent is 30%. So I'm put 30%. And then here, 26 hundredths as a percent would be 26%. Notice how you can also check the total right here. If I add 44 plus 30, that's 74 plus 26, that's 100. So I know that this is going to be, the total is going to be 100%. But you can also see right here that 1 as a percent will be 100%. So 100%. Now, how can you check that you have correctly converted frequencies to relative frequencies? So what I can do is right here, I kind of gave you a hint right here with the percentages, but here I can also add 44 hundredths plus 30 hundredths plus 26 hundredths, and that should give me the 1. And it does give me 44 cents plus 30 cents, that's 77 cents, 74 cents, sorry, plus 26, that gives me 100 cents, which is $1, which is 1.001. Okay, so you can, complete sentences. One way to check that you have correctly converted frequencies to relative frequencies is to add the decimal and see if the total gives you 1. That's all. Now notice this is what does that mean? That I misspelled it. So double with your 2 fingers or left click, and then it'll give you, do you mean? Yes, that's what I mean. I always want to fix my mistakes. I'm a horrible speller. English is my second language and it's not my strength. Math is my strength. Okay, but anyways, okay, explain why the number in the total column of a relative frequency table is always 1 or 100%. So why? Well, because they broke it down. The total always has to be 50, and these numbers right here have to add up to 50. So when I total it up, you know, that's how it should be 1 and it should be 100. Okay, so I'm just going to say the total in the number, and I'm going to complete sentence explain why the number. So the number in the total column of a relative frequency. See how it makes it more like it looks more professional, better than just because or not answering in a complete sentence. It gives you more strength and you get better scores. Okay, anyways, the number in the total column, and I'm just copying right here, the number in the total column of a relative frequency table is always 1 or 100%, because the total, misspelled it, left click, total has to be 50, and 50 out of 50 is 1, which is 100%. Okay, so that's why, you know, like once again, the total here has to be 50. Okay, thank you so much for listening and taking the time to learn.